Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is the beginning of a new month. March is here, I can't believe it. So I thought we could do a little February recap, prep for March, and make some cookies. I hope you're ready for me to overshare about my life because I don't hold anything back on here. But first for these cookies. Because it's March, I wanted to do something green, of course. And I saw a few different people making these like green crinkle cookies. So I'm gonna try and do the same thing, but gluten-free. I found this Pillsbury gluten-free funfetti cake mix at Target earlier today. So I hope it works. I'm gonna preface this by saying that I have never done this. This might be a huge fail, but you never know if you don't try. All the recipes that I saw made these cookies into mint green crinkle cookies, but I honestly don't love mint flavored things. So instead of adding mint extract, we're gonna add mini chocolate chips because I don't like cookies if they don't have chocolate. I will say that I feel like February was a pretty good month. It was a fast month. I definitely had some good moments and some bad moments, but that's expected. I am very excited for March. Oh gosh, I made a mess. One of the reasons I'm excited for March is because I really like St. Patrick's Day. So I am half Irish. My mom's family is from Ireland. And I've never been to Ireland, but that is top of the bucket list of places I want to go in the world. And we're actually hoping to plan a trip to Ireland either the end of this year or next year. I guess I shouldn't say I like St. Patrick's Day. I like the idea of St. Patrick's Day. Being Irish, we never grew up with a lot of like culture or spirit. However, I feel like St. Patrick's Day is the closest that I get to that. And so I like to lean into the idea of St. Patrick's Day. Actually, my favorite number growing up and even to this day is 17 because when I was trying to pick numbers for sports, I played competitive volleyball and soccer. When I was initially trying to figure out like what my number was, I picked 17 because St. Patrick's Day is 3/17. And since then, I use 17 for everything. I don't know how much food coloring, so let's see how that goes. This smells very good, I will say that. I think this whisk has seen better days. There's absolutely nothing green about that. We are gonna have to add some more of this stuff. I give up, we're using the stand mixer. I don't got guns. We're back, and doesn't this look so good? I actually love that this is the funfetti one because it's green with a little bit of rainbow. It's like the Leprechaun cookie dough. Maybe my love for St. Patrick's Day is why I'm leaning so hard. Oh my gosh, chocolate chips just went down my sweater. Maybe that's why I'm leaning so hard into this whole green thing. Like I've been obsessed with green. Most of my wardrobe is now green. My favorite purse is green. My favorite jacket is green. My raincoat is green. My bedding is green. The couch in my room is green. My Stanley dupe tumbler is green. Anytime I have the option to pick a color, I've been picking green. My bridesmaid dresses were green. I'm gonna let this chill in the refrigerator for like maybe 30 minutes to an hour while we do our little like March setup on my laptop and get my new planner ready. Then we'll be back for these babies. Right, we're gonna set up my little Notion planner on my laptop, and then I got my new Sonder planner journal that we have to set up. I did one of these videos at the beginning of February, and I showed you guys how I've been using Notion, and I was so excited about it, but my laptop had just broken. And it took a while for me to get my laptop fixed, but spoiler alert, she's back. She's running amazing. But I have to say, I kind of fell out of the habit of using my Notion life planner, and I miss it. I was really in the groove and I loved it. I was using it every day until this laptop broke. So I want to get back on track, back into using the Notion. So let's get it ready. Before we do that, let's open up this new Silk and Sonder journal. So Silk and Sonder is this subscription where every month they send you this new planner / journal combo. This I've been using every day because not only is it a planner where you can write down things that are coming up, but it's a journal. There's journal prompts. There's like weekly setups where you can do like habit tracking, goal setting. I really love it. Ooh, okay, wait. I love it. So every month they have a new theme. February, the theme was passion. This month, the theme is gratitude, which makes total sense because they sent me an email yesterday to sign up for their March 31 day gratitude challenge. And I signed up, and I should have connected the dots that this month the theme was going to be gratitude, which I love that. Also, isn't the cover so gorgeous? The one thing that I do without fail every day in my Silk and Sonder journal is write gratitude. There's these daily spreads, and so every day I'll write down things I'm grateful for. So maybe if I'm like really rushed that day, or I don't feel like sitting down and journaling or like putting my thoughts out there, I'll at least write down 3 things I'm grateful for. Part of this 31 day gratitude challenge that they're doing, they send a different journal prompt every day. And I haven't printed out the one for today, but I got the email and I opened it up. I actually forgot what the journal prompt was, but I really want to stick to it because I tend to have a hard time journaling just like open-ended without a prompt. But I like that Silk and Sonder this month is going to be sending a prompt every single day. And it's like a PDF, so you could print it out and just like write right onto the sheet. There's a spread for February reflections and March intentions. There's the mood tracker and the habit tracker. There's a sleep tracker, which I actually don't use. This gratitude jar, which I love. So every month they switch up some of the different prompts. Like this gratitude jar is different. There's like a self-gratitude, pictures of gratitude. Oh my gosh, I love this theme. This is actually my favorite they've done thus far. Every time there's a coloring page. Gratitude gumball machine. What is that? I'm gonna take a few minutes and do my little February reflection and set my March intentions. And then I'm gonna set up my habit and mood tracker. So let's do it. All right, I'm all done setting this up. It was really good to kind of reflect on some of the wins and challenges that I had in February. However, I did do that last night in my February version. So this is the one from last month. Last month, I went through and wrote down some wins, challenges, and fun things that I did, and then set some goals for March. So I'll share this in a second. However, I think it's time we go put those cookies in the oven. The oven just beeped at me that it is all preheated. Also, I just noticed I still have Valentine's Day decorations up. I wish I had some St. Patrick's Day decorations. I was actually at Target today and I was hoping to find some things for St. Patrick's Day, but I had no luck whatsoever. I looked at Target like a week ago or so and I was hoping that I'd find some then as well, but I just haven't seen anything. It is all Easter, all spring, which I support. I love the holidays, but I feel like no one ever has any St. Patrick's Day things. I also could not find any St. Patrick's Day snacks. I have a little change of plans. I'm actually not gonna make these into crinkle cookies. I tasted the cookie dough and it tastes really good the way they are. I think the chocolate chips bring out a lot of flavor. And so I feel like making them into crinkle cookies will just kind of be weird with the chocolate chips. So let's just do it this way. Let's see how it goes. And if this works, I am definitely gonna start making more cookies with cake batter. All right, cookies are in the oven. Bubba is asleeping. And now it's time for me to overshare. Bubba, are you snoring? Now it's time for me to overshare. So I'm gonna tell you about some of the highlights of my February and then some of the challenges I've been having, and I'm just gonna process it with you guys. So I got my little Notion planner open. First, I'm gonna do my year in photos. So last month I did this and I really liked it. I'm gonna put all my favorite photos from last month into this folder on my Notion. So here are my February photos. I think some of them are still loading. Let's see. Obviously, one of my highlights was Valentine's Day with my husband. We had such a fun Valentine's Day. We celebrated the weekend before and we went to an improv show. Well, a comedy show. It wasn't improv entirely. Whitney Cummings was the headliner, who I absolutely love her. I loved her since she was on a sitcom when I was like in high school. She's hilarious. It was awesome. We went to Cava before that. You guys know I'm obsessed with Cava. And this month I actually learned how to make the crazy feta dip at home. And I've made fake Cava bowls multiple times in the last few weeks with like Trader Joe's ingredients. It's actually super easy, but still, going to Cava is so much fun. However, the nearest one is 30 minutes away from us, so it was perfect because the improv show was near a Cava. So Valentine's Day was amazing. That same weekend was Super Bowl Sunday, which I had so much fun with my family. I made, of course, some themed snacks. So I made some chocolate-covered strawberries that looked like footballs. And then I made a 7-layer dip that looked like a football stadium. It was nice just hanging out with my family. My dad loves football. Another fun thing is I went night skiing this month, which I'd been skiing once in January, but we went again this month. And it was a lot of fun. However, I did hurt myself. I scraped up my knuckles here and they are looking great. They're almost all the way healed. I tried going on a blue run. Well, I went on a blue run and I did awesome. Then I went on a second blue run that day and it didn't go so well. It was actually like survival of the fittest. I had to keep climbing up the mountain to get my stuff. It was so steep. It was actually terrifying, but at the same time kind of funny. I was literally head first one point on my back, going down the mountain so fast, I couldn't stop myself. I survived, and I'm proud that I got to the bottom of the mountain all on my own, no help. Obviously, I did some baking. I made some Valentine's M&M cookies. I made some like cherry chocolate cookies. Lots of smoothie bowls. I was really into like a chocolate covered strawberry smoothie bowl for a little bit, but now I'm back on my pumpkin smoothie bowl kick. We had a family friend who had a birthday this last month and we went spontaneously on a Duffy boat in Newport Beach, California. So it's like in this little harbor area. I wasn't the one driving the boat. Obviously, I've never driven a boat, but it was fun. We had it for 2 hours. I brought snacks. Some other people brought snacks. We had drinks. It was a great time, but the best part is afterwards, we went to this place that I'd never been before. It's a Mexican food restaurant, but at 9 p.m., they start karaoke. It also had Elvis Presley all over the restaurant. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but I love karaoke. I don't know the words to like any song ever, but I will participate in karaoke anytime you ask. Give me a mic, I'll make words up. I've also been trying to prioritize time with my friends. So one night we did a movie night, another night we went out for drinks by the ocean. I don't know, I feel like sometimes I get stuck in my head and I don't reach out to other people, but I've been trying to make a conscious effort to reach out to friends, plan things, and also respond to friends. I know I'm not the only one out there, but sometimes when I'm struggling with either anxiety or my mood, I just don't like to respond to people. Like it seems like a chore, but when I do and I converse with friends and family, it feels so good. So that's actually one of the habits that I've been tracking in my little planner is social outreach. So at least once a day, I try and message anyone, be it my mom, my friends, my sisters. I don't count my husband because I have to communicate with him every day, but someone. I've also entered my plant lady era. I have no idea how to plant, but I did start an herb garden. And in my last weekend vlog, I showed you guys how I set up my herb garden. And I've watered it every day since. I actually don't know if I'm overwatering it, but it looks okay. I also bought some flowers and I planted those. I'm hoping that I stick with it. I would ultimately love to have like a big built herb garden so that I can use it for like dinners and lunches. Like today, I made cottage cheese pizza toast and I was able to use basil from my herb garden. It was awesome. I also started running again. So running is something that I used to enjoy. And then I developed a really unhealthy relationship with movement, all movement, as my relationship with food totally tanked. And I started to suffer from an eating disorder. It took me years to heal my relationship with food, like maybe 7 years. Now I'm so far into recovery. It feels so good and I don't really feel like I struggle or think about food like I used to. And in between recovery, I would move my body. Sometimes I wouldn't. It just depended on how my relationship with food was going at that time. And if I felt like I was comfortable moving my body and if I knew I could adequately nourish myself. A couple months ago, I got the Lululemon Studio mirror and have been doing classes on that, which I absolutely love. However, as the weather has gotten nicer, I decided that I wanted to get outside and move my body as well. And so recently I started running and I have to say, it is so awesome. And I'm not saying that everyone should run. There were times in my life where I probably would have hated running, but now I've been really enjoying it. I mean, it's only been a few weeks, but it's something that I would like to continue if I feel like I enjoy it. If it ever stops being fun, I'm not gonna do it. Right now, I find it's a really good way to help my anxiety, to release some good endorphins, and just clear my head. This month, I also went to a GI doctor for the first time. I talked a little bit about it also in my last video. I've already shared this, so you guys might know some of the story, but I recently went to a GI doctor. It was my first time going. I was diagnosed with celiac disease a year ago, but I never actually saw a GI doctor. So I was diagnosed on blood work, but now I'm gonna get an actual endoscopy. An endoscopy is the official diagnosis. So they put a camera down your throat, in through your stomach, into the entrance of your small intestine, and take a biopsy. Before that procedure though, I have to eat gluten, and I reintroduced gluten like 4 days ago now, and I'm having so much fun. So this last weekend when we had a girls' night, we had pizza. So I had real pizza for the first time in over a year. And the next day we went to dinner with some family friends and we went to Italian food. So I had some breadsticks for the first time, like real breadsticks. There's something about eating free bread. Like bread tastes so much better when it's free. And it already tastes good to begin with. And I got this combo plate with all these different Italian dishes. Oh, it was fabulous. Also, the last 2 nights we have had avocado toast for dinner on sourdough bread, like real sourdough bread. The pieces are like this big, which if you've ever had celiac disease or had to eat gluten-free bread, you know that normally the breads are like this big when they're gluten-free. But oh my gosh, these sourdough breads, like this big, so good. And also went to Handles one night and I was able to have some of the ice cream that had some of the gluten in it. So my endoscopy is at the beginning of April. So all through March, I'm able to eat gluten. Hello there, are you okay? You're snoring so loud. So I just told you about some of the highlights of February going through my photos, but now I'm gonna tell you about some of the challenges or problems I've been having this last month and some things that I want to process and work through, and I know that I can overcome them. We were just talking about my whole like GI recovery celiac process, whatnot. That's honestly been something I've really been struggling with. So for the last year, I've been eating gluten-free and my symptoms have not totally gone away. During that year, there are periods of time where I've been super strict, like only eating certified gluten-free foods, being really careful about eating out, and only eating things that I felt they were comfortable and could like be certain that were safe. But no matter how strict I was, my symptoms never got better. And it is so frustrating to have constant daily symptoms. I feel like the GI doctor didn't really listen. I feel like he didn't really care about the fact that I'd already cut out gluten and my symptoms didn't get better. And he just didn't seem to have a plan as to what we're gonna do if I do have celiac disease. Like I go back to cutting out gluten, but if it's all like last year, my symptoms are not gonna go away. So the day I met with the GI doctor, I came home, I was crying, I was in the worst mood ever. I felt so hopeless. Like I can live with the symptoms if I can eat gluten. However, if I'm not eating gluten, which sucks so much, I hate it, and I still have symptoms, like what's the point? As someone who's recovered from an eating disorder, there are times where I feel like it really gets to my head and it feels restricting because I've spent, 7 years working on my relationship with food. I've spent 7 years being okay eating the bread, eating the free breadstick. I've been okay with spontaneously going out to ice cream and getting the cone instead of eating it, from a kid's cup. Or, going out to a restaurant and ordering the thing on the menu that seems the tastiest, not the restrictive, salad. Because when you have celiac disease, sometimes all you can get is a salad. And even then, you don't know if you can eat the salad. And the sun is setting in. It is getting so dark. I think we need to plug in the ring light. Don't like using the ring light though, because you could see the reflection in my glasses. Anyways, I've been really struggling with feelings of hopelessness. And then one of the other big challenges I've had is I just lost my therapist. So my therapist is leaving. It's like not a bad thing. And I've actually been doing really good in therapy. We've been cutting back my sessions, like the frequency of them. However, I always had her and she was kind of my safety net if I ever needed anything or if I had any issues, like this hopelessness feeling and whatnot. I'm sad. So back to my Notion planner. I'm not gonna actually do a ton this month in March to set up. I'm not gonna get too fancy because I wanna just get back in the habit of doing it. So this is my little daily setup. So I write today's priorities, 3 things I'm grateful for. I have some habits that I'm tracking and I think I'm gonna keep these. And then at the very end, I have this highlight of the day. So I write something good that happened or whatever my favorite thing of the day was. something that could have gone better. So maybe a challenge I had, something I want to work on for the next day, my to-done list. So I write down some things that I did that day that I'm proud of. And then I write down some intentions for the next day. The few things that I want to change or add is I am gonna add to a reading list. So I recently started, listening to audiobooks, and I've been absolutely loving it. I listen to audiobooks on my way to and from home, when I'm out running errands, when I'm at home embroidering, when I'm on a run. And so I want to start tracking the books that I've read. The first audiobook I listened to, I added it in here, and then I kind of stopped. So I'm gonna go in and add in all the books that I've done thus far. Is this running log. So this I actually created myself from a different template. So I'm gonna write in, if I went for a run, and then the date that I did it, the distance I went total, the pace, so like my average pace per mile, and then my total time, and then some notes. So like if something happened in that run or something I loved, I'm gonna go put those in, but I don't want to type them all out for you guys because everyone's fitness journey is different. These are done. Let's go see how they turned out. I think they look so cute. Look at them. Most importantly, how do they taste? Oh, I love the texture. They're so soft. They're cakey. I guess that makes sense because I used a cake mix. My thoughts, I think we call these Leprechaun chocolate chip cookies. Lastly, some goals that I have for March. So I'm going to Chicago this month. I'm actually going for St. Patrick's Day. That's what I'm getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. We're going on a river cruise, which I think is so cool. They dye the river green. And of course, I'm gonna be eating some deep dish pizza because I can eat that because now I'm eating gluten for the month. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. A goal I have is I want to do some more gardening. So I planted my little herb garden and I have some flowers, but I want to get some big pots and continue my little gardening hobby because I've been loving it. In the comments, I'd love to know a goal that you set for yourself in March. Fun, not so fun, big, little, whatever it may be. Set one little goal, one little intention, and let's do this together. As always, I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you for being here. Subscribe for more. And my next video, I'm gonna do a taste test video. So I've collected some fun snacks, some Trader Joe's snacks, some True Fruit chocolate covered snacks, and I wanna do a big taste test like we did for Valentine's Day. So stay tuned.